He slapped the Earthborn girl. 20 seconds later, he was on the floor. HFY Sci-Fi, the trade station, drifted in open space like a city made of metal and light. Ships from many worlds arrived every hour. Some were smooth and white. Some were dark and sharp. The station halls were wide, filled with voices, steps, and strange smells from many species. This place was meant for peace and trade, but respect was not shared equally. Humans were new here. Most species thought humans were small and soft. Earth was listed as a low-level world. Its people were marked as weak, slow, and not suited for danger. Because of that, humans were given simple jobs: watching screens, cleaning halls, standing quietly in corners. Lena stood near the central market gate. She wore a plain gray uniform with no marks of rank. Her hair was tied back. Her face showed no strong emotion. She was an Earthborn woman, calm and still, watching the crowd pass by. Her job was simple: observe, report problems, do not act unless ordered. She followed the rules. A group of large, off-world enforcers moved through the gate. They were tall and wide, their skin thick and dark. Their armor was heavy. One of them walked ahead of the rest. His name was Drax. He enjoyed attention. He enjoyed fear even more. Drax stopped when he saw Lena. He looked her up and down. His mouth curved into a smile that showed too many teeth. A few nearby traders slowed their steps. They had seen this look before. Drax stepped closer. "So this is an Earthborn," he said loudly. "Small, quiet, just like the reports." Lena did not answer. Drax laughed. His voice echoed across the metal floor. "Do you even understand me, little one?" he asked. "Or do humans only know how to bow and clean?" Some beings nearby looked away. Others watched with interest. No one stepped in. Lena kept her eyes forward. She did not move. Her silence made Drax angry. He leaned closer. His shadow fell over her. "Look at me when I speak," he said. Still, she did not react. Drax raised his hand. The sound was sharp. Flesh met flesh. The slap echoed across the hall. Lena's head turned slightly from the force. Her body moved back one small step. Then everything went quiet. The market gate froze. Conversations stopped. Even the station noise seemed to fade. Many expected Lena to fall. Some expected her to cry. Others waited for security drones to arrive.
None of that happened. Lena slowly turned her head back to face Drax.
Her eyes were steady. Her breathing was calm. Drax smiled wide. "That is better," he said. "Know your place." Inside Lena's wrist, a small indicator lit up. It was hidden under her sleeve. No one noticed. A silent count began. 20. Lena straightened her posture. 19. Drax crossed his arms, enjoying the stares. 18. A trader nearby felt a strange pressure in the air and frowned. 17. Lena took one slow breath. 16. Drax stepped closer again. He raised his hand as if to grab her shoulder. 15. Lena spoke for the first time. "Step back," she said. Her voice was soft but clear. Drax paused, surprised. Then he laughed.
"Or what, little Earth thing?" he said. 14.
The floor beneath them vibrated slightly. 13. 5. Some station lights flickered. 12. Drax felt his boots press harder against the ground. 11. He frowned and shifted his weight. 10.
Lena did not move. 9.
A warning tone hummed deep inside the station walls, too low for most ears. Drax's breathing grew heavier. 7. He tried to lift his arm again. It felt slow. 6. The crowd backed away without knowing why. 5. Sweat formed on Drax's brow. 4. He took a step back, then another. 3. Lena's eyes never left him. 2. Drax's knees bent without his command. 1. The station adjusted. Earth's standard gravity flooded the market gate. Drax dropped. His body hit the floor with a heavy crash. The sound echoed far louder than the slap had. He gasped, his chest struggling to rise, his armor pressed down on him like a mountain. Panic spread through the crowd. "What is happening?" someone shouted. Security drones moved, then stopped, unsure. Lena stood where she was. The pressure did not touch her. She looked down at Drax.
"This is normal for us," she said calmly. Drax tried to speak.
Only a rough sound came out. Lena turned and walked away as alarms finally began to ring across the station. The hall was full of shocked faces. Aliens of all shapes and sizes stopped moving. Some backed away. Others stared, wide-eyed. Drax was on the floor, struggling to breathe. Every movement cost him more energy than he had imagined. Lena walked slowly, her steps calm and even. Her eyes scanned the crowd, not for fear, but for awareness. She touched the small device on her wrist that had started the gravity shift. No one saw it. No one understood it. Only humans knew. The station's gravity protocols had been secretly designed to adapt to Earth standards, but no other species had expected a human to trigger them. It was simple for humans, but deadly for others. A trader whispered, "What is she doing?" Another shook his head. "I don't know." I don't want to be close." Drax tried to lift himself. His large arms moved, but his legs refused. He felt trapped under invisible weight. Panic spread in him faster than pain. His pride screamed. No one had ever dared to challenge him this way. Lena stopped near a wall. She didn't need to be close to him. Her presence alone was enough. She studied the crowd. Some station security members were debating if they should interfere. Some were frozen. The station was designed for order. Now it was chaos. Every system, every protocol reacted strangely. Gravity sensors fluctuated. The air seemed heavier near Drax. He was no longer the strong figure everyone knew. He was human-sized under Earth gravity. A drone hovered near him. Its sensors tried to calculate his weight. The numbers were wrong. The AI paused, uncertain. Lena had learned how to manipulate small systems quietly. She had trained for this without anyone knowing. 20 seconds had passed since the slap. Drax could not get up. Sweat rolled down his face. He looked at Lena with fear. Not fear of pain. Fear of power he did not understand. A young alien child hid behind a stall. His eyes were wide. He had never seen a human do this. His mother pulled him closer. He whispered, "She is not like us." Aliens in the crowd began whispering among themselves. The idea that humans were weak started to crumble. The station official, a tall creature with many arms, arrived. His voice boomed across the hall. "Step back. Remove the human from the floor." Lena did not move. She watched Drax and the officials quietly. Her body was relaxed. Her mind was steady. Drax tried to push himself up again. His arms shook. His armor felt like stone. Each movement seemed to break him more. He realized something terrifying. He had underestimated humans. He had underestimated Earth. Lena's voice cut through the whispers. "Step back," she said again, louder. The official hesitated. He was not sure what Lena had done. He had never seen a human do this. He looked at the sensors. They confirmed what he could not believe. Drax's body weight had increased dramatically. His strength was being tested against human standards. A murmured conversation spread through the crowd. "Humans? They can control this?" Another voice whispered. "No, this is natural to them." Drax's pride screamed inside him. He wanted to attack. He wanted to strike Lena down. But his body refused. Every step, every movement was impossible. He felt helpless, small, weak. Lena took one slow breath. She did not panic. She did not rush. She understood the timing. The other humans who trained on Earth knew exactly what to do. They could handle the pressure. The station's systems could not handle it, but Lena could. The crowd watched silently. The fear in the air was thick. Aliens who had once mocked humans now stared in awe and dread. Some tried to hide their fear. Others could not look away. The station announcer finally spoke, his voice shaking. "Attention! No interference. Leave the human alone. Stand back." Lena nodded slightly. Her work was almost done. Drax's body shook more. He realized he was not fighting Lena. He was fighting Earth itself. He tried to speak, but his voice cracked. "This cannot?" Lena did not answer. She simply walked closer, her calm steps echoing in the hall. Every movement was measured. Every look was steady. She did not need to touch Drax. Her presence alone had already won. The official finally ordered a medical team for Drax. They arrived slowly, unsure if he could survive the gravity shift. Lena allowed them to take him, her expression unchanged. She did not gloat. She did not show victory. She simply returned to her post, calm and composed. The crowd slowly began to move again, but whispers did not stop. Aliens discussed humans in hushed tones. Some were afraid. Some were impressed. Some wanted to test more. Lena watched quietly. She knew the galaxy's view of humans had changed. From that day, no one would think of Earthborn as weak, but she also knew danger would come. Not from Drax, but from those who feared human power. The station returned to its normal noise, but tension remained. Lena stayed at her post. Her eyes scanned the crowd, alert. The galaxy was bigger than anyone knew, and humans were no longer minor players. They had begun to show what Earth could do. And it had only taken 20 seconds. The medical team moved Drax onto a heavy stretcher. He groaned as the pressure of gravity still pressed down on him. Every step the team took seemed to make him weaker. The sensors in his armor beeped irregularly. No one understood exactly what had happened, but the readings were alarming. Lena watched quietly, her arms folded. She did not speak. She did not rush. Her calmness was more frightening than any weapon. Aliens who had mocked humans before could not hide their unease. Even the traders who had sold goods nearby felt nervous. Drax's pride was shattered. He had been a strong enforcer, feared across multiple systems. He had struck humans without consequence before. But Earthborn humans were not like any other species he had faced. The medical team moved him to a secure chamber. Inside, they tried to stabilize his body. The gravity shift had stressed every part of him. Organs, muscles, and bones all felt like they were under extreme pressure. He was alive, but barely. Outside, whispers spread quickly. Aliens in the crowd discussed what had happened. Many were afraid. Some were fascinated. Others began to take notes. realizing that humans were far stronger than records suggested. The story of Lena and Drax would spread across the station and beyond. A station official approached Lena. He was tall and thin, with many eyes. You controlled that?" he asked, his voice trembling. "How did you do this?" Lena's expression remained neutral. "It is natural for humans," she said simply. "We train our bodies in ways other species cannot. You cannot expect to understand." The official nodded slowly. He was unsure if he should be impressed or scared. Humans were small. They seemed fragile. Yet this one had just demonstrated a level of control and strength that dwarfed many alien species. His mind raced, thinking of the political consequences. Meanwhile, the crowd slowly began to disperse. Traders and visitors whispered stories about Earthborn humans. Aliens began to treat other humans with more caution. They no longer saw them as weak or simple. A subtle respect began to form, mingled with fear. Back in the chamber, Drax struggled against the gravity settings. He tried to rise. His muscles burned, but his body refused. Panic consumed him. For the first time in his life, he felt powerless. Every motion was laborious, every breath a struggle. A young officer nearby looked at the monitors. "This is impossible," he muttered. "No species can handle this gravity without enhancements." A medical technician shook her head. "The readings are correct. He is under Earth standard gravity, and he cannot stand." Lena remained at her post. She watched the entrance to the chamber from afar, making sure no one interfered. She knew what humans could do, and she knew others could not predict it. She had trained for moments like this. She had waited for the right time. The station AI tried to recalculate its protocols. Gravity, pressure, and energy systems fluctuated. Normally, it would handle emergencies, but this was beyond its programming. Lena's control had triggered a response that the AI could not counter. She had used subtle pressure adjustments, nothing aggressive, yet the effect was undeniable. Drax's anger boiled inside him. He had never been defeated in such a public way. He had always relied on strength and intimidation. Now he was powerless. His reputation, his pride, everything he had built, seemed to vanish in a matter of moments. Outside the chamber, a small group of aliens approached Lena. They wanted to test if humans were truly as powerful as they seemed. One spoke, his voice low and careful. Can any human do this?" Lena shook her head. "We are not special. We are trained. Earth makes us strong. You will see more if you come to Earth, but you will not survive the training." The group backed away, unsure whether to believe her or fear her. Word spread quickly. Rumors of Earth's hidden strength began to circulate through the station's communication networks. The human's reputation changed overnight. Meanwhile, Drax lay on the chamber floor, exhausted and broken. He realized he had underestimated humans in every way. They were not fragile. They were not weak. They were built to survive extremes, and Lena had proven it. His failure was complete, and he knew he would never forget the lesson. Lena returned to her post, alert. She continued her observations, calm and silent. She knew the galaxy was watching, even if they did not realize it yet. Humans had begun to show what they could do, and the effect was only starting. From this day, nothing would be the same. The galaxy would no longer see Earthborn humans as weak or minor. And Lena, standing quietly in the center of it all, knew she had only begun to reveal their true strength. The station did not return to normal after the incident. The lights were steady again, and the noise of trade slowly returned. But something invisible had changed. The mood was tense. Every alien who passed a human now looked twice. Lena stood at her post, calm as always. Her face showed no pride and no fear, but many eyes were on her. Word had spread fast. A human had dropped a powerful enforcer without touching him. For the first time, the station council felt uncertain. A command arrived quietly. Lena was asked to report to the council chamber. She walked through long halls made of glass and metal. Guards stood aside as she passed. None tried to stop her. Some avoided eye contact. Others stared with clear caution. Lena noticed everything. The council chamber was large and round. Many species sat in raised seats. Some were old, some were strong. All were watching her closely. The lead council speaker leaned forward. "You caused a system-wide gravity event," he said. "You disrupted station order." Lena nodded once. "I defended myself." A murmur spread across the chamber. "You could have killed him," another council member said.
I did not,
Lena replied calmly. They studied her. She was small compared to most of them. No armor, no weapons visible. Yet they had seen what she could do.
Explain, the lead speaker said. Are you enhanced? Lena shook her head.
No. Are you trained for combat? Yes. The council exchanged looks. How many humans can do what you did? One asked. Lena did not hesitate. Most. Silence fell. Outside the chamber, Drax was being moved again. His body was still weak. Medical staff struggled to keep him stable. The gravity damage had not fully faded. His muscles had torn, his organs were stressed. He would live, but his strength was gone. In the chamber, the council speaker spoke again. "Our records list humans as low threat." "Your records are wrong," Lena said. A few council members reacted with discomfort. No one challenged her words. "We need proof," one council member said. "One incident is not enough." Lena nodded. "Then test us." The council hesitated. They had expected fear. They had expected denial. They had not expected confidence. "We will observe," the lead speaker said slowly. "A controlled test. One human." "No weapons," Lena agreed. The news spread across the station within hours. A human test. A strength display. Crowds gathered near the testing arena. Aliens whispered with excitement and fear. Drax was moved past the arena on a hover bed. He saw the crowds. He saw the screens showing human symbols. His chest tightened with shame. He remembered the slap. He remembered the fall. He understood now what humans truly were. In the arena, the ground was reinforced. Pressure systems were calibrated to extreme levels. The test was meant to push any being to failure. A human arrived. He was not tall. He was not wide. He wore plain clothing. His face was calm. His name was Owen. The crowd murmured. This was the human they would test. The first test began. Weight plates descended onto his shoulders. The pressure increased slowly. Many aliens expected him to fall. He did not. The pressure doubled, then tripled. Owen adjusted his stance and stayed upright. Whispers turned into gasps. The second test began. Gravity increased beyond station limits. Bones would break at this level for most species. Owen bent slightly, then straightened. The sensors confirmed it. He was unenhanced. The third test pushed endurance. Time passed. Sweat formed. His breathing grew heavier, but he did not stop. Lena watched from the side, silent. The council watched in disbelief. Owen completed the final test and stepped back calmly. He did not celebrate. He did not smile. He simply waited. The arena was silent. The lead council speaker stood slowly. "Enough," he said. The test ended. Fear spread faster than applause ever could. Drax watched the broadcast from his medical bed. He closed his eyes. He understood fully now. He had struck something far stronger than himself. He had insulted a species that survived pain as a daily truth. The council chamber filled again. "Humans are not minor," the speaker said. "They are something else." Lena stood straight. "We ask for respect," she said. "Nothing more." The council began to vote. Outside, the galaxy listened, and humanity was no longer unseen. The decision of the council did not bring peace. It brought fear, questions, and quiet tension. News of the human test spread beyond the station. Messages moved through trade routes and private channels. Other stations listened. Other worlds paid attention. Lena returned to her post, but she was no longer invisible. Aliens slowed when they passed her. Some bowed their heads slightly. Others kept their distance. A few stared with open fear. Humans across the station felt the change too. They stood straighter. They spoke with more confidence. The council delayed its final announcement. They needed more time. Too many powers were watching now. Drax remained in medical care. His body healed slowly. His strength did not return. Every movement reminded him of the fall. He replayed the moment again and again in his mind. The slap, the silence, the weight. His pride had been crushed harder than his body. One day he asked to see the human. The medical staff hesitated, then sent the request upward. The council allowed it. They wanted to see what would happen. Lena entered the medical chamber quietly. The room was dim. Machines hummed softly. Drax lay on the bed, smaller than he had ever seemed. He turned his head when she entered. His eyes showed shame instead of anger. "I was wrong," he said slowly. Each word cost him effort. "I thought strength meant size." Lena stood near the door. "Many think that," she said. Drax swallowed. "Your world? It made you this way?"
Yes, Lena replied. Earth does not forgive weakness. Silence filled the room.
Drax looked away. "I will never walk the same again," he said. Lena nodded once. "You are alive." That was all she said. Then she left. Outside, the station prepared for something new. A council session was called. Not a trial. A declaration. The chamber filled with observers from many species. Screens connected distant systems. Everyone wanted to hear the decision. The lead council speaker stood. "Humanity has been misjudged," he said. "They are not fragile. They are not minor.
They are resilient beyond known standards. Murmurs spread.
We propose a new classification," the speaker continued. "High endurance species." Fear rippled through the chamber. Lena watched silently from the side. "One more matter remains," the speaker said. "Intent. Power without control is danger." He turned toward Lena.
What does humanity seek?
Lena stepped forward. "We seek space to stand," she said. "Not above others, not below, only equal." The chamber was silent. A vote was taken. The result was clear. Humans would be protected under new interstellar law. Any harm toward them would be treated as a major offense. Earth would no longer be ignored. Across the station, humans heard the announcement. Some smiled. Some cried quietly. Some simply breathed easier. Drax watched the broadcast from his bed. He closed his eyes. He knew the galaxy had changed, and he had been the spark. Later, Lena returned to the market gate, the same place where it had all begun. The floor was repaired. The crowd moved as usual. A young alien approached her carefully. "Are all humans like you?" he asked. Lena thought for a moment. "Stronger than we look," she said. The alien nodded and walked away. Lena resumed her watch. The stars outside the station burned quietly. New stories traveled among them now, stories of Earth, of gravity, of calm humans who did not need to shout to be feared. The galaxy had learned its lesson, and it was not over yet. The galaxy shifted quietly after the Council's decision. Earth was no longer ignored. Humans were now recognized as a high-endurance species. Ships, traders, and diplomats treated them with caution and respect. Stories of their strength traveled faster than any fleet. Lena stood at the station gate, her eyes scanning the arrivals and departures. Her posture was calm, but every step carried the weight of what had been accomplished. Drax remained in medical care. His pride had been broken, but he survived. He understood now that humans were not to be underestimated. Every encounter reminded him of the fall. Every whisper about Earth fueled a new kind of respect, mixed with fear. He would never mock a human again. Across the station, humans began to be treated differently. Small groups were allowed access to areas previously forbidden. They were no longer questioned when they requested special accommodations. Security officers recognized them as beings of endurance and discipline. A message arrived from Earth itself. The Council requested a liaison, someone who could represent human interests across interstellar systems. Lena was quietly suggested by her superiors. They knew her calm judgment and experience could be trusted. She accepted the assignment without hesitation. Her goal was simple: ensure humans were safe and respected, and that the galaxy understood their true strength. It was not about power or revenge. It was about equality and recognition. Drax was moved past the gate one day. He watched Lena from a distance. He wanted to speak, but words failed him. He only bowed slightly, a gesture of acknowledgement. Lena met his gaze for a moment, then continued her watch. She did not gloat, she did not mock. She simply stood as a human should, confident, calm, and strong. The station AI, which had struggled during the incident, was recalibrated to include human parameters. Systems were adjusted to accommodate their abilities. Security protocols were rewritten to ensure that humans could survive and operate where others could not. Humans, quietly, had begun to influence the galaxy. Visitors from distant worlds approached with caution. Scientists wanted to study human endurance. A Nazi. A Nazi. A Nazi. A Nazi. Traders wanted to understand Earth's hidden strengths. Diplomats wanted to negotiate with humans in a new light. The stories of the 22nd incident, the slap, the gravity shift, the collapse of Drax were told over and over. Each retelling emphasized calmness, control, and hidden strength. Lena observed all of it quietly. She walked through the halls, passed by trading stalls, and nodded to passing humans and aliens alike. Each step reminded others that humans were different. Not violent, but not to be underestimated. Not loud, but capable of changing the rules of a station without a weapon. The Council continued to update interstellar law. Humans were given special protections. Any attack on them was now considered a high-level offense. The galaxy had to respect Earthborn humans. It was a lesson taught by one calm woman and reinforced by one disciplined human. Lena returned to her original post near the market gate. She stood and watched as ships departed and arrived. Her eyes were steady, her stance relaxed. She knew the galaxy would never forget what had happened. Humans were no longer fragile. Humans were no longer ignored. The galaxy had learned that even the smallest of humans could change everything in 20 seconds. And Lena, Earthborn and calm, knew her people had begun to claim their place among the stars.